Oh, man. Yeah, and there's another piece that I just wrote, which is about the future of ops is platform engineering. Like, it's always been that infrastructure and ops, like, are bundled together, but they're unbundling. And if what you love is building infrastructure, being an infrastructure engineer, increasingly, like, you're not needed at most companies. You're needed at infrastructure companies who are solving a problem for the world as a service, right? And people who love operations and like operability stuff, um, and the second half of that article, I was just describing all this stuff. I didn't use the word platform engineering, but that's exactly what I was describing because it's all about you're going to be needed as basically the layer of engineers that comes into a company and helps them not do infrastructure, helps them very intelligently like glue together a platform for developers to self-serve, to own their own code, while you make sure that you have to build as little infrastructure as possible and that your stack makes sense and all this stuff. And that's platform engineering. And what's neat about it is that, as operations, traditional operations engineers, we were measured like in, uptime and availability and how happy are your users and customers. But like the platform engineer's perspective is actually inward facing. You're successful if your developers are able to very quickly and easily self serve, create their own services, whatever, run their own code and own it. And so the developers are actually like accountable for the uptime and the availability and reliability. Your your job is making sure that they are as effective as they could be.
I love this because I think you're spot on. There's a trend that's I think it's already happening. I don't know where it is in the curve, but this platform engineering thing is
Yeah,
either huge or going to be huge.
yeah, it's going to be
Um,
huge.
I have, the not ability, but like I'm very grateful that I get to talk to a lot of people in the
Yeah,
development space. And I'm seeing, I don't know if it's a title change or whatever, I'm seeing this
yeah,
platform
yep,
engineering teams.
yep,
And I started to ask myself, who are these people? Like I wanted
yeah,
to get to know, like, where did they come from?
yeah,
And so, there's like some engineers are on LinkedIn. I know there are other places, but I started looking up the ones that had LinkedIn to see like the career path actually.
yeah.
And there's a few things that I noticed that I wanted to share with you. One is usually at the top or whatever social platform that you're on and you get to write a little thing about yourself. They all have one thing in common. They say, I'm here to help others. I'm here to
Yeah,
help others succeed, and others meaning developers.
yeah,
Usually it's from a quality and productivity standpoint. So that's like one
yeah, yeah,
characteristic that I see about them in their path, even if they're not called a platform engineer yet. Some of them.
yeah, yeah,
And the other thing that I noticed, and it could just be, maybe like the next generation because, ops and DevOps and all of that was a thing, is still a thing. I did notice that these people tend to come from more of a developer background
yep,
as opposed to a pure ops background. Again, it could
yep.
be just because of like when they got out of college and
No,
all of
you're
that,
right.
but they were on like an infrastructure
Yep,
ish team, hardcore developer.
yep,
And then it kind of migrated to this platform role. Are you
yep,
seeing the same thing or what are
yep.
you seeing?
Absolutely. That's the canonical platform engineer. It started out as a software engineer. They got hooked on infrastructure and they got hooked on like, enabling others because these positions are such high leverage. You can change the direction of a company's, success, just by being in this because engineering productivity is everything.
It is.
Now I do think that I think for a platform engineering team perspective, I think that the side that I see platform engineering teams erring on right now is not having enough actual ops background. We still tend
Okay.
to undervalue that skill set. And I think that the healthiest platform engineering teams are the ones that have, maybe two-thirds software engineers and infrastructure leading, and one-third like operations people with experience who could also write software. But like that conjunction of the two, like ops experience and writing software is like, I think the most exciting place to sit in computing today.
Okay. Yeah. Let's break that down. So one thing, if you're listening to us here, there is an amazing career opportunity